That's first. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the question is, how does this describe God's character? That's the question.
How does this describe God's character? It describes, like I was just saying, it describes not only a sovereign God, but a merciful God. And I
You're
think that
you're you're lagging a little
one
bit.
of the pastors that I was,
Yeah, you were lagging a little bit. So jump back in, and then yeah, you'll be good once you jump back in. Yep, that's better. I'm gonna add you back right now. Yep. Okay. You good now. Yeah. So the question is, how does this describes God's character, right? And I tell you right off the bat, let's get right to it. Look,
okay.
this is still Psalms 3, 7 through 8. It says, Arise, Lord, deliver me, my God, strike all my enemies on the jaw, break the teeth of the wicked. From the Lord comes deliverance. May your blessing be on your people. And a lot of people who don't understand God's character will say, well, why would a good God do this? Why would a good God strike someone on the jaw? Do you know why a good God can strike someone on the jaw? Because a good God will protect the people who are righteous, the people who are holy. A good God protects the children that he claims to love. Do you understand what this is describing? This is describing a father who is going to protect the people he say he loves and the people he says belongs to him.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I'm going to protect you from the wicked that don't belong to me anymore because they chose their route and now they're trying to kill people who belong to me. So I am going to strike them on the jaw and send them back to the dust. You know why I'll send them back to the dust and it still be righteous? Because they are wicked and they belong to the devil. Therefore, they are lost. And I can't allow lost souls to destroy righteous souls because I love them. Do you see how there's a difference between God and the devil? The devil does not fight for anyone, no matter if they belong to the devil or not. But God, because he's good, righteous, just, and sovereign, he will fight for his people. The devil does not fight for his people. They fight by themselves until literally to the death.
And
God
to,
will fight with his people. This shows you the character that not only is he just, but he also can strike you in a moment. He also will come at you in a moment because he's just. And he, like you said earlier, he does not play when it comes to the people that are his children, that belong to him.
yep. And to elaborate on that a little bit more, for one, of course, God tells you that vengeance is his. What do y'all think that that means? Do you think that he
Mhm.
playing? Vengeance is his because he's coming to pay that debt. Anything that's left untied, we be like, oh, he got away with it, or she got away with it. No, no, no. You really have to start to understand that when God is talking about vengeance, it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but the debt gonna get paid. That's just how God moves, and he'll chase who he loves. Exactly. And that's the next point I was going to make. We can talk about the character of God, and if you don't understand the character of God, then Malik's explanation was spot on 100%. But we can also elaborate on the relationship that David has to God. So this is,
Yeah.
Malik touches on the relationship of God to us, right? But
Mhm.
then there's a relationship with David, us, man, to God. And you know
To
what
God.
David did that many of us never do? He called on him. And that's why God says, I got your back. I got your back because every time you get in a tight corner, you don't try to go and figure out how to do it on your own. You don't try to go and brainstorm, or let me go ask this person and that person. What's your opinion? What's your opinion? What's this book say? What's that book say? But you come to me. And because you humbled yourself to the point of a child, as a child needs to eat, they ask their parent. As a child needs to go, they know their parent gonna do it. My daughter doesn't even think about her well-being because she know mama gonna do it. I don't care. I know I need a bath, mama gonna do it. I need food, mama gonna do it. My room needs to be clean, mama gonna do it. She don't have a worry in the world. That's how
Exactly.
That's how David is. David's dependent on him, and he's not moving until God say move, or until God moves. And that's why he's saying destroy them, because if you don't do it, who gonna do it? I'm not gonna do it because you told me vengeance not mine. So can you do it? And God say, yeah, I will, because I got your back. So the closer your relationship is with Christ, the closer you understand that he's not up there twiddling his thumbs playing willy-nilly. But if you don't call on me, you don't call on me. Like, for instance, Peter and the disciples are in the boat. I love this story, but they traveling across, the storm. And never in the book does it say that they called on him. So it's just like and they didn't turn around. They had faith, but that's why they had fear when they seen Christ walking on the water, because it's like, who is that? Because they're not, that's not where their mind is at. But David, stuff start going astray. It's storming outside. It's a hurricane. It's this, it's that. It's a little something. It's a big something. David calling. God knows David gonna hit that line every time, and that's why he shows up, because it's a relationship.
Exactly. And that's, you kind of just answered it, but I want to ask it directly. Why was David able to sleep in despite of his danger? He knows he's in danger. So how was he able to sleep knowing he's in danger? That's the $1 million question. How can you sleep, David, knowing you're in danger of thousands of men coming to kill you? How can you sleep?
Well, it's the same way a 3-year-old is bouncing on the wall, singing songs, playing, while you trying to look at bills like, what is going on? Because they have it's not my problem. You figure it out. I don't. That's why God says, cast your worries on me and don't worry about it. David mastered he was worried. I'm not saying he didn't have fear or he didn't have it inside. I'm just saying he casted them on him and he went to sleep. What can I do? Yeah. That's where he was at with it. What can I do? They out there.
David showed the true definition of taking refuge in God, in Christ. Mm-hmm. This is literally the definition of that, right? He said, shoot, they coming after me. God, you know what to do.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's literally what he did.
That's where I want to be. I want to see something happen and be like, right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like how that Roman have so much faith like that Roman soldier. Yep. Have so much faith like that Roman soldier where he said, you ain't got to come to my house, God. You ain't got, you're the son of God. You ain't even got to come to my house. I know that even if it's your will, it'll be done. And it was done. Do it. I ain't got to go through all these hysterias just to let me cry and break down and have a nervous breakdown. Then I'll believe. No, I don't even have to flinch. God, exactly. You know what to do. Because I know. Because I know. All right, chapter 4. You ready?
Yep. Oh, my eye burning.
Well, I'll pull it up. Lord. Y'all know Malik. Okay.
All right. Chapter 4.
Answer me when I call you, my righteous God. Give me relief from my distress. Have mercy on me and hear my prayer. How long will you people turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call him. Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. Offer the sacrifices of the righteous and trust in the Lord. Many, Lord, are saying, who will bring us prosperity? Let the light of your face shine on us. Fill my heart with joy when their grain and new wine abound. In peace, I will lie down and sleep. For you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety. Sorry, it was lagging a little bit when you was pulling it down. Okay, I'm going to let Malik start, y'all. Y'all know I like to talk. I'm going to let Malik start with his commentary for this one. You're muted, baby.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back up to the top real quick. Right here. This is the part when I first read this, I was like, what?
I already know
The
what you about to
reason
say.
it, the reason it, look at, let's look at what this says real quick. It
He
says,
talking crazy. I was like,
he talking, when you don't understand, it sounds like he talking crazy to God. Because he says, answer me when I call to you, my righteous God. He's saying, hey, God, I'm talking to you. Answer this phone.
mm-hmm.
And when you first read it, you like, who the heck do David think he is talking to God like that? But
Right.
David know his relationship with God. And he's
Yep.
coming to God saying, God, you know how I talk. You know who I am. You know what it is. Hey, I need you to answer this phone call. Pick up because you tripping. And God will answer because he knows his relationship with David. We
Well,
have to
David's also in distress. So he's demanding God's attention. I need it now.
exactly.
Like, I need you to talk to me now. And I think David knew, God, you ain't brought me this far to abandon me. So answer
Abandon me
me.
to
Yeah.
forsake me.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, this is why David is, you know, him and Solomon are my two favorite, obviously outside of Christ in the Bible. And the reason I love David so much is because David gives you a true understanding of how to live a life with God and
Yeah.
for God, right?
Yeah.
David had his lows, his highs, his middles, but you know what David always did? Even when David stumbled and fell to the bottom, right? You know what he always did? He said, God, come on, man. Even when he was at his top, he said, God, come on, man. Even
Yeah.
when he was in the middle, he's like, God, come on, man. You know,
Yeah.
no matter what, David always was, you know, making sure he gave a quick little dial to God and say, God, yep, yeah, I'm doing good today. We good. Or God, I'm going through it today. He always checked in, right? No
But this
matter
is
what situation he was in, he always checked in.
but this is the beauty of God's grace, because to us, and maybe even to God, I mean, I ain't saying I wouldn't know, but maybe God say he's talking crazy. But listen, I'm so grateful that I asked you to do something. I asked you when you in distress, when you mad, when you sad, when you angry, when you worried, call me. And so now he calling, and it's like, well, he didn't call and say the way that he should have said it. Well, God is so graceful. It's like, but he called. You don't call.
You
You
don't
don't call
call.
me. You don't check in. So you all you doing it now, lay me down to sleep. You ain't calling me. You doing
Yeah.
some rehearsed mumbo jumbo. David calling me, and he is talking a little crazy. Hey, hello, are you there? But listen, God said, I'm here. I'm
Yep.
gonna give you peace. I'm here. And so for the next verse, this is something I wanted to clarify. He not talking to God, y'all, in this next verse. And because sometimes I think that when you're reading, because he was just speaking to God, it seems that in this next one where he says,
Which part? Which verse number?
go up a little bit, go up just a little bit.
What verse?
Okay. I don't know, but you going too fast. You just had it, but you come down, come down. No, go up, go up, go up. Go to the
It
top of
starts
the
with
verse. Okay, right.
this is
Right here where it says how long, how long, how long. Okay. How long will you people turn my glory into shame? How long will you love delusions and seek false gods? Know that the Lord has set apart his faithful servant for himself. The Lord hears when I call to him. Okay, well, maybe y'all don't think he's talking to God, but I'm just saying for clarity, he's speaking to the men against him. And he's saying, he's basically telling him, this is why David is cold. Sorry, I brag on David because I love David. But listen to the context in which he's saying this. He talking to his enemies, but he telling them, do y'all know who I serve? Why y'all doing all this? Like, we ain't even gotta do all this. We can skip to the good part.
this is
Y'all
literally
already,
what you call this is literally what you call a definition of confidence even in distress. That's what you
yeah,
call this.
exactly. You know how this end, because you know who I serve. I know how this end, because I know who I serve. So how long y'all gonna do this? How long y'all gonna shame me and do this and do that? We've been through this rodeo. Y'all seen how God get down. Y'all seen what he gonna do for me. He gonna come through for me. And I think that that's how we should all move. We should understand the authority we have when you serve Christ. We sometimes we do this. they don't believe. Okay. This is me, y'all. This is me because I don't like to offend people, but they don't believe. Let me just. But instead, God said, be bold,
Yeah,
be
be bold.
courageous.
Exactly.
Let it come out your mouth, even if it come out wrong. David wasn't speaking perfect. David wasn't saying, guys, let me make sure I say this to y'all the right way. David said, what are y'all gonna do? Let's get it done. I don't care. I serve a God that's about to destroy y'all, bust your teeth out your mouth. That he talking crazy. But God honors his boldness because everybody that serves God, like think about maybe what's his name? Saul who turned to Paul. Think
Yeah,
about what he was doing. That's one of the boldest
exactly.
people you ever seen. And he was one of the biggest servants of the Lord. Why? Because he had a level of confidence in what he's preaching and and the sin that he's turned from. And so
Exactly.
we also have to always consider that the life that we once led and the beliefs that we once had and the things that once tormented us no longer do. There's a gratefulness that needs to suffice your boldness. I'm grateful that I don't live in this, but I know how it feels to live in it. So let me make sure I'm telling you what's right.
He said David was warning them, but hey, people have to learn the hard way sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Mo. You have to sometimes warning come before destruction.
He have the best
He got,
backup.
you can have 10,000 men, and I got God.
And this okay, this is what I want to focus on, 2 verses from chapter 4, right?
Okay.
And the 2 I want to focus on is verse 4 and verse 8, right? So let's look at 4 really quickly. It says, "Tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent."
Mhm.
Right. And that this ending part is where I want to focus on. When you are on your bed, search your hearts and be silent. And I
Mhm.
think that a lot of us need to pay attention to that and do this, because a lot of times we're saying a prayer and then we go to sleep. We're saying a prayer that we knew we grew up with, and then we go to sleep, But a lot of times we don't just sit really quickly and dwell with the words we're speaking to God and let silence hit, which is why a lot of times we're missing what the Holy Spirit is teaching us and talking to us about. And we say, oh, we're missing God's voice. You're missing God's voice because sometimes we do a little too much talking and not enough listening, right? When we're talking to God, we need to sit in silence a lot of times and wait to feel it. Wait to feel the response. Wait till you get the chills going down your neck when you just said something to him, even if it takes 5 minutes. There's been times where I would literally say something and feel nothing, right? And I'd be like, and then I'll turn my head and I'd be like, I just felt a wind go right down the side of my right side of my body. And like, okay, that was it. That was it right there, right?
Yeah.
But it's because you have to understand a lot of times doing this too much, you miss it. You miss it. Saying, I want this, I want that, God, I need this, God, I need that. God, I need help with this, I need help with that. And my mama need this, and my grandma going through this, I'm going through this, and then my kids going through this, and sometimes my kids getting on my nerve. You're doing too much of this, right? Sometimes you need to just say, God, I don't got nothing for you today. What you got for me?
Mm-hmm.
And just wait.
And
And just
David
wait.
does, in this same chapter, David calms himself. He
Yeah.
says he calms himself because he's angry, but he's aware not to let the anger make him sinful. This spoke to me. This was for me. Because sometimes y'all, Miss Carson, that anger get the best of her. And I get to sinning. I get to talking crazy. Ask Malik, I get to saying, and you slow the anger, Proverbs, lady, calm down. And I have to, and I know y'all couldn't imagine, right? Because I'm so nice. But let me tell y'all, this touched me because David has to calm himself down because he understands that the anger, it's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to have emotion. But don't let the anger lead you to sin. That's self-control. learn how to have self-control, learn how to conquer your flesh and say, okay, we mad, but let's bring it down. Let's lower our tone. Let's meditate biblically and calm yourself to focus on the Father. Like sometimes y'all, we'll go to church and one of my biggest pet peeves is being late. I hate being late. If we running late, they're gonna see a monster. I'm like, come on.
If we running late for church, she like, let's just go back home. We already late.
No, that's not true. Now he ain't telling the truth, y'all. I'm still gonna go, but I am going to have a little of an attitude because let me tell y'all, when we go to a church, if you're not on time, them kids can't go to the daycare, and I gotta bring them kids in the sanctuary with me, and they flipping and turning. Journey having an attitude, Jace flopping his body, and I'm annoyed. But meditate and keep your focus on the Father. I can't focus on the message. I'm so mad. That's not good. See what I'm saying? Like you really have to. And so what you're saying is 100% right. You have to be able to sit silent, to be patient, to calm yourself, to control your flesh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because there's been times. Let me show it to some people who probably didn't see it really quickly. Right here in 4, it says, "When you are on your bed, search your hearts and be silent." I'm telling you, there are so many times, especially honestly recently, there's so many times where, you know, I want to overreact, or times where I want to blow up, or times where, you know, I'm you know, annoyed, or whatever the case may be, right? And instead of, you know, blowing up, I do the opposite. You go silent. When you go silent, you can think clearly, you can hear clearly, you can listen clearly. And when you talk to God, you can say, God, I'm mad. Help me. And then just wait for a response, or say, God, like a lot of times, this is what I do personally. I talk to God and I say, God, I don't got nothing for you today. I don't know. I really don't know what to say to you today. I'm just checking in with you, even though I don't got no words. Do you got anything for me? And I just sit there and wait. And I'm telling you, every single time, right? The actions that he gives me in response of the people around me is like, oh, he just answered me.
Well, asking you shall receive.
He just answered me. Through the people that are around me, he's responding that way, right? And I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't take the time to be silent and wait. So, and then I want to go to the other one, which was 8. So in 8, it says, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." What does that mean, to make dwell in safety? She was ready. He was ready for that one, huh?
I got the notes, y'all. Through God, even if the circumstances look shaky, David still remained
exactly. That's right. That's right.
He still remained faithful because he knew God. Knowing what God had done gives David confidence in what God would do. So
yeah,
we have to understand, and that's why God says, not only love me with all your heart, but with all of your mind and with all of your soul. Because to know his character is to know every component of him, so you can seek refuge in him. Because sometimes when we love him with all our hearts can be deceitful. And so you don't really know him and your soul a little shaky, things ain't feeling right, and you
ready to jet out of there. You ready to jet out of there. You like, oh, I was feeling God today, but now I'm mad at, and so I ain't feeling him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Try to jump up out of there. Yep.
But
you have to get to a point. You have to get to a point where you can dwell with God without the emotion. And the reason is not saying emotions is bad, but you have to learn and get to the point where you can dwell with God, where your decisions are based off of his word and not your emotions. You understand?
Well, I don't agree.
I'm gonna tell you why. What matters more? What matters more? Your feelings or his word?
But that's why I think that's
no,
why
no, no. What matters more? What
matters more?
His word or your feelings?
His word.
His word. So if you make a decision based off of how you feel and not based off of his word, you're going to find yourself in a bind, in a trouble.
Right. And
Not
I
this
wasn't
is not
disagreeing with,
saying it's not saying that emotions are bad.
yes.
It's saying you have to understand his word comes before your emotion.
Yes. And I'm not disagreeing with that point. I'm just saying seeking refuge in God is unleashing your emotions within him. Because I mean I could unleash
It
my
can
emotions,
be.
but huh?
It can be, yes.
Well, I think that's where it should be. If I'm praying and I'm bawling, that's the appropriate place for it. Because then
No, no,
if
no.
you start to say,
What I'm saying is seeking refuge in him you can do that also without emotion. For example, if you are, let's say if you are, speechless, you have no words to say, you're like, man, I got a event today. I don't really know what I'm gonna say at this event, and they wanted me to present something today. You seek refuge in God and say, God, can you be with me at this event today? I need your help. Right? You don't have to have your
I get what
emotion.
you're saying.
Do
You're saying
you
don't
understand what I'm
only
saying?
go to God when you're emotional.
Exactly.
Okay. I thought you were saying
Exactly.
you don't got to be emotional with God. You're saying don't
Oh,
go when
that's you getting Philly, touchy.
no,
See,
that's what you
see, that's what I'm
said.
talking about.
That's what
No,
you
that's not what I
said.
said. That's not what I said.
Go
That's
to
not what
chapter
I said.
5 because I'm about to be done.
You worried about your feelings.
Let's go ahead and close it down. Bring chapter 5 up. I'm about to be done. Y'all heard him. He did say that.
No, I didn't. All right. It says, all right, this is chapter 5 of Psalms. It says, listen to my words. Lord, consider me lament. Hear my cry for help for my King and my God. For to you I pray. In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my request before you and wait expectantly. For you are not a God who is pleased with wickedness. With you, evil people are not welcome. The arrogant cannot stand in your presence. You hate all who do wrong. You destroy those who tell lies, the bloodthirsty and the deceitful. You, Lord, detest. But I, by your great love, can come into your house. In reverence, I bow down toward your holy temple. Lead me, Lord, in your righteousness because of my enemies. Make your way straight before me. Not a word from their mouth can be trusted. Their heart is filled with malice. Their throat is an open grave. With their tongues they tell lies. Declare them guilty, O God. Let their intrigues be their downfall and banish them for their many sins, for they have rebelled against you. But all who take refuge in you be glad. Let them ever sing for joy. Spread your protection over them, that those who love your name rejoice in you. Surely, Lord, you bless the righteous. You surround them with your favor as with a shield. Boom.
Okay. My notes, simple and easy. I only have one thing to clarify, but David only had one God. There's only one God.
Mm-hmm.
And he waits not in confusion, but expecting an answer. Asking you shall receive. David knows God and knows what God doesn't tolerate. So he stands firm in his belief that he will prevail. And that was it. That was my mic drop for chapter 5. But also I just wanted to clarify something in the text. Really be aware, and because this part stuck out to me. Can you bring it up one more time? So I
Yeah.
can
Which part?
about their mouths. Oh, here it is. Not a word from their mouth can be trusted. Their heart is filled with malice. Their throat is an open grave. With their tongues, they all tell lies. Declare them guilty, oh God. Okay. To close this out for me, and this is the last of my commentary. Y'all, please be aware of people who flatter you. I've learned that it's very
Yep.
important. Be aware that things that people say, just because somebody in your face, they don't have your best interest in their heart.
Yeah.
Be aware of the things that people say to you in the way that people conduct themselves around you, and also understand that your discernment should give you an action to do. This is something I'm working on, and it's very important. When you see people behave a certain way, when you see people lie, when you see people treat other people poorly, when you see those things, it calls for you to stand apart. And if you can't do that, then as we were saying earlier in the earlier chapters, you're associated with it and you are declared guilty. You're guilty because you have no say so, because you have no courage, because you have no wherewithal to say, I'm not comfortable around these type of actions. So even if it's towards another person or if it's towards you, be aware of the flattery, be aware of the pretty little things in your ears and all the things that people say. They're your friend, they your best friend, they your sister, they your blank, 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 they your boyfriend, they your girlfriend. Be aware, because people are deceitful. And David is calling God to call them guilty because their mouths are open graves. Things that come out your mouth are good as death. So not only be aware of the flattery that people tell you, but also be aware of the things that come out of your mouth in regards to people and yourself. Please stop calling yourself broke. Stop calling yourself ugly. Stop calling yourself fat. Stop calling yourself all of these,
Negative things.
about yourself, because the things that come out of your mouth is like an open grave and it stank. Nobody want to be around a stinky person. And when you say all those things about yourself, you ooze with repellent for love. Repellent, because people are attracted to what they're seeking. If people are seeking love and you have self-hatred, then it's like repellent for that. So if you're seeking more success, you're seeking prosperity, you're seeking a relationship with God, understand that the value within you is innate, and that innate value should shine amongst all your flaws.
Yep.
That was just my little token.
Yeah, and for me, it's this part right here. It says, "But let all who take refuge in you be glad. Let them ever sing for your joy. Spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may rejoice in you." And I think when we go through hard times, a lot of us forget this. We forget to be glad that we're breathing. We forget to be glad that we have a roof over our head. We forget to be glad that we have food in the pantry. We forget we have to be glad we have food in the refrigerator. There's people who don't have food in the refrigerator, who don't have a roof over their head, who don't have transportation, who don't have shoes, who don't have families, who don't have this and that don't have that. A lot of times we forget to take refuge in the gratitude that we should have. We forget to take refuge in the joy we should have for the things we do have, because we focus too much on the things we don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you for myself, there was a time period where I focused on all the things that I didn't have instead of looking in front of me at all the things I do have, and I was miserable.
Mm-hmm.
You will find yourself in misery when you always constantly chasing and looking at what you don't have, what you want to have, what you want to get, what you want to do this, what you want to do that. When you stop chasing that and you look and say, I got this, I got that, I have
So that's when
this.
you found me. That's when you got married, right? Yeah, I see what you trying to do, y'all. This is before he met me.
Anyway, that's what I was saying.
A man who finds a wife finds a what? What the word say?
It's find a plate.
Don't play. But no, that's right, Malik. I like that. That wrapping up of chapter 5. I like that we got through the chapters. I like that we done.
Barely.
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. And right.
Exactly. Just be thankful.
Always shout out to Lonnie, man. Lonnie is shout out to Lonnie. Shout out to Mo Perspective. Shout out to Jay Hawthorne. We appreciate y'all because y'all are so interactive. We encourage y'all to say y'all piece as long as it's respectful to our Lord and Savior. We are good to go. I mean, Malik. Oh, sorry. Malik is a little bit more lenient, and because he likes a little debate. But me, I told y'all about the temple. The temple is. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Anything else to add, my love?
No, that's it. We're gonna be back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Tomorrow, I'm assuming we might continue Psalms. We shall see. If not, y'all know we'll have a topic for y'all. And
No, I got one for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Well, let me not say nothing. Malik got it then. This was my subject tonight, so catered to you by Mrs. Carson. But thank you guys. We appreciate y'all. Thank you, Mo. Thank you so much, and thank you for your commentary. It was so helpful. Again, shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.